Teresa won. Teresa won. Gary proposed to Teresa. Y'all know that. And that's why we're here. But let's talk about their journey to the proposal. Let's find out exactly what happened. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk The Golden Bachelor Season 1, Episode 9. This is the finale, the final rose, the golden rose, whatever you guys want to call it. Before we go any further, I want to say a super, super heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you that has been rocking with me throughout this season. You guys have been super patient. Any question that I ask in the video, it's like numerous of you that are answering the questions. You guys have never made me feel like stupid about The Bachelor or like, oh my God, you don't know this either. Y'all have been awesome. So I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Love each and every one of you. I thank you all for the subscribers, the comments, the likes, the shares. I've been looking at the analytics. Y'all are really showing up and showing out. So I super duper, like for real, I appreciate it, you guys. So with that being said, if you are watching me and you have not yet subscribed, I will be back for The Bachelor. I don't want to say I'm like in Bachelor Nation now, like I'm not there, but I'm crawling, okay? You got to crawl before you walk. So I am crawling over towards Bachelor Nation, but I will be doing the new Bachelor that is going to be Joey this January. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I would love to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That has been my goal all year. I am less than 700 away, I believe. Yes, less than 700 subscribers away. So if you are watching this and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. As always, thumbs up the video and then leave your comments down below. I feel like there's a lot to talk about. I didn't think there would be. I thought this was going to be a real boom, bang, pow situation. And I feel like it got very dark. Very dark. But let's talk about it. So they're still in Costa Rica. Gary's daughters are there and his granddaughters. I don't know their names. Well, like which is which. But one of his daughters looks exactly like him. Her daughter looks exactly like her. And his other daughter looks exactly like his wife, whose daughter looks exactly like her. Love it. Okay. So he's telling his daughters that he has told both women that he loves them, and both women have told him that they love him. And if I'm sorry, but if that is my dad, I'm calling a red flag. We have to talk about some things. We have to talk about some things. They kept showing my homegirl Faith in the audience, and it's like, leave that lady alone. Faith was so overwhelmed with emotion. Faith wasn't going. Joan looked like she was like low-key upset. Susan cried all up and through this. Ellen looked irritated. Y'all know Nancy was being messy, but that's Nancy. But it was that section. That section was giving the faces that I think we all were giving at home. So his daughters and his granddaughters are going to meet the two ladies. So they meet Teresa first. So they asked Teresa, what is it about their dad? What is it about Gary that you like? She said that he's a very warm, personable person. Teresa said that if he were to propose, she would definitely accept it. She later tells Gary that she only wants him if he wants her. Meaning if you're not going to give it 1,000%, then don't waste my time. He tells her that for him, it's going to be 1,000% or nothing. She sits in a confessional and she's wondering, he told me he loved me. Did he tell Leslie too? He absolutely did, sis. Yeah, of course. Because my whole thing is, I feel like if you get this far into the season, you're this far into the end, why do you think that you're the only person he said I love you to? We got to think rationally about this, right? So we then have the family meet Leslie. So she said that she loved that Gary said the word fuck on their date because she now feels like she can swear in front of him. He makes a joke that it was fuck with an exclamation point, not a question mark, meaning don't get in my business, don't ask what we did. Leslie said that Gary makes her feel very comfortable and secure. His daughters, however, tell Gary that they think that she's so overly emotional because she's struggling with the possibility of Gary proposing. And I said, well, what does that mean? I think that Leslie is just I think she gives chaotic energy personally, but I don't think that her emotion was because she didn't know if she was going to say yes or not. I didn't get that from her at all. So later, Gary comes to see her, and she tells him that you weren't your usual self today. He said, "Yeah, it's just the pressure of things getting to him." And this is where Gary started to really make me look at him differently. Because here's the thing. You know you're not going to pick her. You know that you want to move on to Teresa. You know all these things. You know that you plan it by, because at this point in the day, this point in the process, you know you want to marry Teresa. You know Teresa is who you want to be with. So at this point in the process, be real with Leslie. So there's a lot of chaotic, like, not disparaging. That's a bad word. Discouraging language that's going on here. He asks her for a big fat hug. What is that? What is that? I'm sorry, but I don't ever want somebody to tell me, give me a big fat hug. You can say, give me a big hug. You can just say, give me a hug. I'm going to always hug big. So that was like number one for me. She tells him that she loves him very much, and he said, well, that is a special sentiment. I said, oh, girl, in this moment here, you should know that he don't see it for you. He doesn't see it for you. I feel like it was unnecessarily intense. The music got all moody. I said, oh, this is going to be a lot. He tells her, be happy, and then kisses her on the cheek. I said, what? What is going on? And like, y'all know I don't really feature Leslie. I don't really care for Leslie. I felt so bad for her in this moment. Like, my stomach was in knots watching this scene because I felt like it sometimes ripping the band-aid off is the best way to go, right? So the fact that he was doing everything but just telling her, I'm going to go a different way, was really bothering me. I'm a very transparent person. I thrive on transparency. I prefer people to be brutally honest with me, to be real. So he's being super weird, and she's like, is there anything you want to tell me? And like, it's clear that he's dumping her, or in his mind he's dumped her, but he's not being man enough to just say it. So he goes outside and he sits on the step and he's crying. She's inside and she's crying because she knows something is off. She knows that I'm not getting proposed to tomorrow. She knows that. So he decides that, he has to go back in and talk to her because he keeps saying, we're so tethered, we're so connected, we're so this, we're so that. And because of that, if she feels that something is wrong, if he feels something is wrong and they're off, she can feel it too. So he goes back inside, tells her that he is falling in love with Teresa, and that's the direction he is going to take. I said, she said, so then everything you told me the other day was a lie. And he was like, no, at that time, that was the truth. And that that things have changed and evolved. So he said, y'all are both wonderful women, but only one is right for me. And it's like, Gary. She then said that he keeps telling her, because she's like, starting to beat herself up. And he's like, don't think that. She's like, I can think whatever the fuck I want to. I said, get into it. Because there's nothing worse than when you feel a way about something. And like, we're all human, right? We all want to wallow in our pain, in our sadness, in our mood. I feel like people should have the ability and the luxury to be able to do that without judgment. So the fact that Gary wanted her to like quickly like kind of get over it, move on was odd to me. So she said that I can feel however the fuck I want to feel. You know, she can cuss in front of him now. So she then goes on to say, and this is what was really sad, that she's heartbroken. She's getting her heart broken again, and this time it is in front of the entire world. So now the world is going to see that nobody chooses me. The world is going to see how broken I am again. And then she said that he led her down a path, took a turn, and left her there. And I said, oh, pull the knife out. Pull the knife out. Because it's like, when you think about it, Gary did lead her on. Like, tremendously. Gary did lead her on tremendously. She now said that at least she doesn't have to walk down the aisle in that $60,000 dress and be completely embarrassed. And I said, now, Leslie, why do you have a $60,000 dress? Why? She then said that she wants him to be happy, even if it's not with her. And, you know, she has nothing bad to say about Teresa, said Teresa's a great girl. Gary said, well, I'll see myself out. I said, yes, the hell you will. What are you, truth be told, honestly, Gary, I don't know why you stayed that long. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you're going to break up with me right here and right now, why do you need to sit and watch me cry? Why are you holding me? Why are you holding me while I cry? Why are you trying to comfort me? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me be. Leave me be. So he goes outside. Now he's outside. Jesse's outside with him. Gary said he hates himself right now because he has broken somebody's heart. Now, this is where I'm a Libra. I'm a very rational person. Now, Leslie, I mean, there was always a 50-50 chance that you would not get picked, right? Even though Gary has said all the right things to you, there was still a 50-50 chance that you would not get picked. At the same token, Gary, you knew that you were going to have to send home, how many women were there? Let's say 12. You were going to have to send home 11 women. So the fact that now you just can't fathom that you broke somebody's heart, that was going to happen regardless. He said that he has never felt this bad aside from when his wife passed away. This is a very close second. He then said that he'll never forget the look on her face. Well, I'm sure she'll never forget the look in your face when you told her, be happy. That is a wild thing to say. I don't know what Gary was thinking when he said, be happy. But I feel like when Teresa said, I love you, and you didn't say it back, she knew something was wrong. So then we pan over, and now we're back on live, and they got Leslie on the stage. Y'all said she's wearing Bachelorette black. So I guess that's like a hint. She might be the Golden Bachelorette. We'll see. She looked good tonight. I give it to her. Leslie went and got her hair done, got her makeup done. Her dress was cute. Leslie said, I'm about to come out and show you what it is and what it ain't and what you're missing. Because we know Teresa's hair ain't going to be done. So Leslie's out there. She's still very emotional, as she would be. You had to live it once. Now you have to relive it in front of the world. I feel bad for her. I do. It's a risk you take coming onto the show, but I still feel extremely bad for her because I just feel like she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that, which is why I kind of don't like shows like this, because there's going to be the possibility somebody's feelings are going to get extremely, extremely hurt. And when you have these women that are of a certain age that are trying to find that one last love, yeah, you know what I mean? So she tells Jesse that she was devastated, you know. She said that she was caught off guard, said things were great with his family, even though everything wasn't aired. They got along good, great rapport with the family. But she had a feeling that something was off. And Jesse was like, when did you get that feeling? She said that after they came out from meeting the family, when he sat outside, he was like super guarded, just kind of super weird with her. So, like, what do y'all think happened? What do y'all think happened? Well, you know what? We know what happens. Never mind. We'll get there. Um, she then said that after their overnight, that she had such a good feeling about what happened that she went out and bought a nice little blue dress and she started to write vows. And writing vows was a bit much, Leslie. I don't know why you would. I'm hoping that she meant she started to like write a little proposal speech or something. But writing vows is wild. That's wild. But okay. So then we have Gary comes out. He said that or excuse me, she said that she was herself when she was with him. She was able to be unapologetically herself. She fell in love with him. She fell in love with his integrity. She tells him that only the two of them know what happened during that overnight, what conversations that they had, what words were exchanged, and she won't share that. That is their privacy to maintain. But she makes a point to say, you know what you said, and that's why you led me to believe that that you were picking me. And I believe that. I think that Gary told her everything, because I do believe that Gary 1,000% wanted Leslie until he found out what Teresa's job was. He found out how much money Teresa makes. Did y'all see the expose about Gary? About how he has lied about a couple of things? He has not been single since his wife passed away. He was in a 3-year relationship. This is all alleged, you know. He was in a 3-year relationship. How he is not this like retired restaurateur. He owned a burger joint that he sold in 1985. Again, all allegedly. But he sold this restaurant and this burger spot in 1985. And he's been doing odd jobs ever since then. So while we're looking at Gary as this like, nice, handsome little silverish fox that, is basking in his retirement, that has been, waiting for this like magical love to come about, that's not really the case. Now, this is from the Hollywood Reporter, which is not the most reputable of sites. Kind of convenient this came out before the reunion, before the final rose. But take a look at it. It's all over Twitter. But, I mean, when you couple that with the fact that he didn't know anything about Teresa, he had to ask Teresa, so what do you do for a living? Right then and there, then apparently they slept together. It makes Gary look a little funny in the light. It just does. But my sources were correct. Remember I told y'all that I knew who the winner was? This is exactly kind of what they said was going to happen. So, shout out to my source. She tells Gary that she was blindsided. He said, and this is where Gary just goes off the rails. He said that his head was ready to always send the ladies home, but his heart wasn't. He got caught up in the emotions, and that's why he said, I love you. Now, see, this is very contradictory to what he told her when he broke up with her. So it has now gone from, I do love you, and in that moment I did really love you and all this other stuff, to now it's, well, I just got caught up in emotions. What? You said I love you to her. You told her you were in love with her numerous times, Gary. You were not caught up in emotions. You weren't. Teresa put out, and I'm assuming Leslie didn't. Wow. So he then said that there was nothing that went wrong. There was just a better person. You were my person until you weren't. He had to find a person he couldn't live without. I said, damn, Gary. Imagine somebody telling you, I had to find a person I couldn't live without. That's why I didn't pick you. So I'm forgettable. You can live without me is what you're saying. Like, there are so many other ways that Gary could have phrased a lot of this. But nonetheless, He then apologizes for making her feel the way that he did because he didn't mean to. She does not want to accept his apology, but she said she understands. Now, Leslie, I don't want to say that you have to accept his apology, but it doesn't look good for you to tell somebody, I don't accept your apology. Especially in this instance. Accept the apology and then just move on. Don't harbor resentment for it. Don't do any of that. Like, because at the end of the day, there was still always a 50-50 chance that he was not going to pick you. There always was. So we get to the proposal. Teresa comes out. I mean, she didn't want to do her hair, and it's just... Teresa comes out and tells him that she wants to spend the rest of her life with him. That's what, that's what she has going. That's how she feels about everything. Wants to spend the rest of her life with him. He tells her that she's not the right person for him to live with. Is awkward, hold, pause, dramatic effect. And then he says she's the person that he cannot live without. He proposes. She accepts. And they are now the first golden bachelor couple. Something about Teresa gives me manipulative. Something about Teresa, I don't know. It's something about her that I have just not trusted since the beginning. Something about her that I just haven't trusted since the beginning. I just haven't. They come out together. Teresa looked good on the reunion. I'll give her. I keep saying reunion. Teresa looked good in the finale. I'll give her that. Her hair was done and it was a lighter brown. Teresa looks younger. I don't want to say she had work done, but you can tell that like somebody told her, sis, the makeup you had going wasn't working. We got rid of the red lip that wasn't working for her, that completely washed her out. That like she was like putting on like the Joker because it used to be like, low key on her chin and on her cheek sometimes. But they come out, her dress was cute. They look good together, but I don't know. Something about it doesn't give, oh my God, they look so in love together. So Gary said that what he saw in Teresa was that she knew how to maintain and nurture a relationship because of her previous marriage. I said, boo, tomato. Why do you have to shade Leslie, who sat up there and told you that now she's heartbroken and the world is going to see that yet another person does not want her? That was a slight towards Leslie. Teresa said that she doesn't want to talk about, or even though he doesn't want to talk about what happened in the fantasy suite, she said I knocked his boots. And I just know that Kathy was in the audience seething, because don't throw that up in Kathy's face. Don't throw it in Kathy's face. And then we find out that they're getting married live on national television, January 4th, was it? And it's like, oh. And then they're going to Italy as a honeymoon. And I want to see if they make it to the 4th. I want to see if they make it to the 4th. I don't know. Something about them is just super odd to me. But let me know what you guys thought about this. How do you guys feel about the fact that he picked Teresa over Leslie? Who do you guys think should be the Golden Bachelorette should they decide to continue on with, this particular part of the franchise? I would love if it was Joan, to be honest. Mainly because I feel like Joan's time was cut short. So I would like for it to be Joan or Faith. I would say Joan or Faith. Leslie is not healed from this. This is still very fresh for Leslie, so I don't think Leslie would be the best choice. I would like to see Joan or Faith, but let me know what you guys thought about it. Again, if not already, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video. Thank you all for an amazing season, and I will catch you guys in January for when we watch Joey try to find the love in his life. Joey's cute too. But I will catch you guys then. Peace.